Okay. You're just getting all this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First we start with the olive oil. About 2 tablespoons. And we want to heat the skillet to about medium heat on whatever utensil you're using. Now while we're waiting for that to heat up, we're going to be chopping 2 cloves of garlic and the rest of our potatoes. You might notice that the potatoes are only partially skinned. This is to add some flavor for when we put them in. Now you can really chop them however thick or thin you like them, but generally about 1 inch squared is good. So just continue chopping until you get to the right size. As you can see, we've gone ahead and chopped all our ingredients. Here's our bell pepper from earlier, and here's our half of our chopped onion. This is the rest of our potatoes. And now that this is heated up, we're going to go ahead and throw some of these potatoes in there. Now the sizzling might startle you, but that's part of what you want. Now you take your spatula and just real fast, after you first put it in, just get those all, so they've got a little bit of oil on them so they don't burn. And if need be, you can even add a little bit more. Okay, good. Okay, now it's been a couple minutes, so we want to add our onions, so those cook down with the thing and stir it all around. Pretty soon we'll add the bell pepper, and the garlic will be close to the last step. Now this is smoked salt. It's a nice it's what I'll use instead of kosher salt, which is also what I had there. But if you have smoked salt or sea salt, I would highly suggest it because it adds a lot more flavor to your potatoes. And I also have some pepper, which we'll be adding the seasonings at the end. Okay,
So you'll have some stock footage.
okay. Now, just so we can get some of the flavor, we're going to add the bell peppers, or any pepper if you have regular, it's fine, to it. And we're also going to add 2 cloves of garlic. That makes so all the potatoes will cook together and that flavor will meld. Now what you're going to want to do is pat down your mixture so it's got full contact with the pan. That way it browns completely, and then 5 minutes later you can start flipping them over. Season until the last moment as far as your salt and pepper, because you can always take away and add more, but you'll want to taste test it first to make sure you got it right. As we left it, you want to wait until the bottom of your potatoes starts looking something a little bit like this before you flip them over. And just need to make sure, because you don't want to burn them too much. You want to just crispify them and get a little burnt for flavor. Once you flip them over, repeat the last couple steps and press them down so you can get the other side well done. Now it's at this point that we'll want to season with a little bit of our sea salt, or a little bit of kosher salt if that's what you have. And now we'll wait to cook these sides, and then simply repeat until we've got it all brown. And then we'll show them what it's supposed to look like when it's... Now, while you don't have to brown them all evenly, you do want to make sure all of them get a little brown. And a way to help is to add a little ring of olive oil, just to help it start sizzling. And if you do have black pepper and want to add that to your potatoes, don't do so until the very end, because black pepper is a herb and will burn. Okay, now, as you can see, at least all of them are brown. I've gone ahead and turned off our thing, so now it's just cooling down. I've gotten all of the potatoes a little bit brown. Here's where you taste test it. Now, make sure not to burn yourself. Now, you want to make sure it's to your specifications and who you're cooking for. These potatoes could use a little bit more salt and just a tad of black pepper. And you've got some potatoes ready to serve with high flavor and any party pleaser.